Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of Latino Vegano. And I'm so grateful and happy to be part of this project and to just conversate with you guys. So, welcome. And today I'm going to talk about my perspective or Latino Vegano perspective about the unbiased review of the fairly new documentary from Netflix, You Are What You Eat, the Twin Experiment. So, came out this year, 2024. For who those who haven't watched it, this is a great way to give you guys my opinion about it, unbiased opinion, right? And at the same time, it is a good way for you guys to have kind of like a preview of what it's all about, and then before you even start watching it or not. But so let's go ahead and get this thing going. All right.
latinoyvegano.com.
So for those who've been under the rock, there's a documentary that just came out a couple of weeks ago. Came out, so I'm actually maybe a week behind on this when I recorded this session or when I recorded this episode about You Are What You Eat. So it's a brand new documentary that just came out this year, a couple of weeks ago in the month of January on Netflix. I'm gonna give you guys my review, my opinion about the documentary, and then I'll tell you guys if I recommend it or not, or what's my take on that. So we're gonna get into what you are what you eat, the twin experiment documentary that just came out. Uh, as a seasoned vegan and a plant-based advocate, I approach this review with a really open mind as a critical eye. Let's go ahead and explore the documentary impacts, storytelling, and most important, its reflection in our relationship with food and health. So it's important that we take into account that. So let me start with like some of the things that I like about the documentary. So one of the things that I like about the documentary is that it's actually like a docu series. So it's not just we used to be in this format that we watch the documentary maybe an hour and a half, depending of the type of content. And then you just sit down, you're watching, and then that's it. That was it, right? So pretty much all the big hitter documentaries has been that way, the same format. So nonetheless, the this documentary was produced by the same folks of the Game Changer, actually. So it is the same group of people that was in that Game Changer documentary. So now they created this docu series, and I think there were like 4 episodes at least that came out. Yeah, I think a total of 4 episodes, and they run about 45 to an hour each episode. So you had the opportunity to watch them entirely, and you can watch it all at once, like I did, or you can break it in pieces. Right, you watch episode one, episode two, and so on and so forth until you finish it up, depending on your time. But it's very interesting because the documentary's in-depth exploration of the twins experiment was both fascinating and eye-opening for myself. The visual representation of the effect of the different diets on the twins' health was compelling and thoughtfully presented. It effectively showcased the potential impact of a plant-based diet and the overall well-being, shedding lights on the benefit of a most conscious approach to nutrition. Furthermore, the film emphasized on the interconnections of our dietary choices and the environment um, was a refreshing take as well, because it's mentioned that as well. Um, Urging viewers to consider the broader implementation of their food consumption. So, for those that have not seen the documentary, I want to give you a quick recap. Basically, the documentary is that um, we always talk about. You hear this a lot when people say you need to try a plant-based diet, and they say, well, plant-based diet is not for me. I was born with this specific blood type, or that's the reason why I consume meat. Or people might say, well, plant-based diet is not for me because my body requires meat and all these different things. So basically, what they did was they brought a study where they have um, identical twins, exactly the same DNA, and very, 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 very alike. It's not almost difficult to differentiate them to perform the study. So they brought 21 twins, identical twins, same-side DNA. And what they decided to do was they decided to test them in having a different diet. So basically, they took a oatmeal diet, so a carnivore diet, or supposedly call it a healthy carnivore diet versus a whole food plant-based diet or a vegan diet, basically in that sense. And they have them actually both go ahead and go head to head in those two diets. So they combine the health aspect of it, which is the diet, and they also included exercise into the equation. So basically, they gave both of those twins, or they give the Placedo twins, and they did was 21 twins actually. Um, a group of healthy diet, oatmeal diet, and then they gave them a vegan diet on the other end to the other twin, and they had them go head to head and compete. Not compete, but they wanted to see the result after I think it was what like a month somewhere around that. A little bit of either a month, a little bit over a month. They gave them that challenge for them to follow those two diet, and they wanted to see results at the end with scientific result to see what was the outcome, if there's any changes or benefit or downside, so on and so forth. So at the get-go, I think as from the start, basically, I think it is a brilliant idea because a lot of the people, or a lot of the time, we talk about the benefit of a plant-based diet from vegans and from our perspective, right? Which is nothing wrong with it. It was absolutely right because we're using our own self as experiment. So, like for example, I speak about plant based because I've been vegan for 20 plus years, so I can speak about it and how beneficial it is from my perspective. So I use my own self for that. But then others can say, well, that doesn't work for me, or I'm not going to change my lifestyle, or whatever is the reasoning behind it. So by having these two identical twins with the same DNA, you can actually make a comparison of the benefit of the diet with people that has very similar, if not the same, body composition, structure, and so on and so forth. Because all these twins, they actually not only look alike, but they probably had the same weight, very similar weight. If not, the margin of difference is very, very low or very, very minimum, and they sometimes think the same. They sometimes even finish their own sentences. So that's how well connected or well defined these twins were, and I mean that happened for a lot of the twins. So by having this type of comparison allows them to kind of see benefits with the diet. So that's kind of like a high level of what actually the documentary is. There's more into it that I would highly suggest that you pay attention to the different details and you read it if you want to watch the documentary. But at least I'm giving you like a broad idea of what the documentary is all about. So like I said, one thing that I like is like docu series. So it's about 4 episodes. People might not like that because they used to documentaries to be, one documentary full for an hour and you watch it and that's it. But I think by having it break down in small pieces, you allow the documentary to kind of free flow into more aspect or more details of the whole concept. So you can talk about different things in different times. So for example, you can deep dive into what we call activism for the animal rights or the animal movement. You can focus on that a lot. Then you can talk about the environment aspect of it because you have at least 4 episodes about an hour that you can tackle those different type of topics without having to kind of cramp everything into one big series or one series or one documentary for a whole full hour. So I think it allows you more flexibility to kind of target different things. Plus, at the same time, it allows you to kind of also talk about the different life or some of the members of or some of the twins, right? So you can also kind of focus on their lives. So it's kind of like a reality show at the same time as well. So I kind of give them a little bit of that flow too. So to me that was one of the things that I like. I think it should continue doing more of the type of concept. Maybe even have uh, a sequel of that at the same time. So that's one thing that I like about the documentary itself. So another thing that I like is this, like I mentioned, they were able to compare both diets. You got an oat diet or a carnivore diet, and then you have a vegan diet. So you hardly see documentaries that actually showcase both diets at the same time, with scientific studies. So you don't really see that a lot. So you either see the carnivore speaking about the benefit of being keto or whatever the case is, and then you see vegans talking about the benefits of being vegan, but you never see a documentary that actually showcase both. So you can see the good, the bad, and the different things. So that's one thing I like. Even in the beginning of the episode, at the beginning of the docu series, they actually have a chart that said like pros and cons of being vegan or pros and cons of the omnivore diets and so on and so forth. So I think that gives them a lot of like flexibility to kind of showcase a lot of these things. So I give them credit for doing that. So that was one thing that I like. So I also enjoying the fact that they tested women's sex drive, and then if that was beneficial in either diet. I think a lot of the time we don't talk about women's sexuality from that perspective, right? We always talk about how good for men perspective having a whole food plant-based diet or a vegan diet can benefit the men's in the bedroom, but we never speak about the woman's side also. How can that improve her sex drive and all these different things? So that was pointed out to me that it was a nice benefit to know that women can benefit also by having a great diet or a healthier diet. And then it's good to measure it, how it benefits them, whichever diet wins or whichever diet showcase them the most benefit when it comes down to that as well. So that was a good thing as well. I think I like that aspect of showcasing. They did that in the Game Changer with males, right? They had like a group of college students, and they were looking at how many erections they had during their time of the study, and then when they were eating plant based, and then they did something similar in this series, but with females. So it was a really good add on to the docu series. So I highly like that part as well. Um, they Another aspect I like. There was a lot of things that I like about the docu series. So one of the things that I like about the docu series is how they in between sets of showcasing the twin experience, they also brought up different topics related to the benefit of incorporating a whole food plant-based diet or a plant-based diet or a vegan diet, depending of the situation. So they spoke about it in different aspects, how good it was for the environment. They spoke about that too, how good it was for animal welfare, as well, same thing as well, and for health as well. So I think they touched all different aspects of veganism from a macro perspective in different scenarios. So that was good as well. Um, One of the things that I like was different use cases. There were three use cases that caught my attention. When I mean use cases, is like scenarios that they presented it, because they were not only showcasing the life of the twins going through this challenge, this 20 plus days, a 30 days challenge, where one was eating a healthy opening diet and the other one was eating a healthy vegan diet, and they were going head to head. But they also were showcasing cases or scenarios or real actual event of people changing their mindset and adopting a plant-based diet or a vegan diet. And the three ones that caught my attention was the restaurant in New York, right? That was a fascinating use case. And also they talk about a Texas farmer. So shout out to Texas for that too. And then there was also the factory farmer owner that changed his whole tablet establishment, his whole factory into he completely he stopped promoting the dead animal, and he focused more in doing something else. So he went vegan as well. So for me, those three cases were amazing. I think you gotta watch it so you can um, understand exactly what I'm talking about, but at the same time, you can see how impactful these different things were, not only to the show but also to different people that watch it. So that was a great thing too. And also another aspect that I like about the docu series was the studies that they at the end they presented a bunch of studies related to the results of the experiment with the twins, and then they showcase them all the different benefits or whatnot, pros and cons and different things. So they have like a final section where they all gather into like a college. They all sign up in the college room, and then they were talking about all the different benefit, and they presented different type of chart, and everybody was like, "Wow!" It was shocking. All the different results. So including the sex drive for women and all the different things. So for me, that was some of the things from a high level that I really found fascinating about the docu series, and I feel like it was very well put together document series. It was very well put together docu series. I think now the quality of the information is much better. I think also we get into a more sensitive world these days, where the really hardcore documentaries um, are kind of fading out a little bit, which I don't think they should, because at times I think we have to kind of be strong, and I won't say probably worse, not strong, but we have to be able to showcase the reality of things instead of hiding it, right? Because sometimes by hiding information, in some situations, it derails people from the truth. And then I think if we focus on saying the truth and showcasing the truth too, as well, it allows people to get a shocking impact, like a stronger impact. So I don't think we should completely derail from the type of docu series. Talking about Earthlings or Dominion, this type of docu series or documentary that are very impactful. You know, you see a lot of graphical things that happen behind these slaughterhouses, and that kind of images that a lot of people don't want to see it. But at times we need to show that too, because um, a lot of people say that they act the way they act because they don't know. So, but once you know and once you showcase that, then that's a different thing. Now you might be an asshole or a jerk, excuse my language, but it's very important that you understand and that you see those things. And the only way that you can see those things is like if we showcase those things. So I don't say that we should completely derail from those type of documentaries, but at the same time I think having options like this that presented from a different perspective, with more scientific studies, with more in a more subtle way, allows all the peoples that are that maybe doesn't require too much of an impact, or people that require a more soft approach, can benefit from this as well, so can benefit. So I think that's a part of having documentaries like this comes out and then benefit people from that perspective. Okay, well, the documentary effectively highlighted the significance of dietary choices. It could benefit from a more comprehensive analysis of the environmental implementation of various eating habits. Additionally, incorporating a wider range of experts' perspective, including those from the vegan and plant-based community, will offer a more balanced view of the subject matter. This series at times seem to lean toward promoting more of a vegan lifestyle, which could be balanced with a more neutral presentation of different dietary choices. Moreover, a deeper exploration of these socioeconomic factors influencing food accessibility and impact of dietary decisions will enrich the documentary's narrative. If you look at the documentary, was produced by vegans, right? So it's heavily is gonna promote the vegan lifestyle, which of course I'm 100% agree with it because I'm vegan. So for me, we'll do that. But now, to make it probably more of a even feel, it will have to be done by folks that are not either vegan or not either omni. So, or at least they won't take a side. So because it's different, you might be either one or the other, right? So it will have to be a set of group of people or a group of people that are not either biased for one or the other. They'll be able to be right in the middle, so it could be like a more even feel. Because of course, the documentary still promotes vegan, still promote different aspect of veganism, right? So it's a vegan documentary. So that's the one thing that I could say that it could improve heavily, right? That can be better in the sense that it could be more of a partial feel when it comes down to it, even though it was still partial because to some extent, I'm not trying to contradict myself, because they were actually putting vegan versus omni diet to compete amongst each other. Um, Still, the community was focused on the vegan lifestyle, so they definitely were gonna be able to push that on a more wider scene. Another thing is I would like them to show something that can improve. I would like them to show more twins because if you look at the docu series, and I understand that there were like 21 that they did this, but we only saw the life of like five of them, right? Maybe five of them were the main focus of the whole show. The others, twins, you we never you never saw them. Like you I think at the end of the documentary, you see a picture of all the other ones, but we didn't really see the life or progress of the other ones. So it would have been nice to see the other twins, at least, even if it's shorter version. Maybe what I would have done, or what they could do is, if you're gonna bring it down to like a docu series of 4, 5, 6 episodes, I would have done maybe, which I thought they were gonna do, maybe episode 1, you can showcase the first five twins, and then the episode 2 you showcase the other five twins, and the episode 3 is, other 5 or 6 twins, whatever. You break it down however you want it, and then at the end you can make a big sum of all of them, showcasing what you want to the result. But I would have just show more of them, of a variety of twins, if we want to put it that way. Even though they're probably going to have very similar outcome, but it would have been nice to see or see the life of others. It's not just the ones that we saw all the way through 1 to 4. So that would be my one recommendation from my perspective. Another thing is, there was a portion of the initial, um, which I wasn't sure. It would be nice for you guys to let me know why they did this, but they um they told them that they were gonna give them the diet of their choice, but at the same time, whatever they wanted, they would give them the opposite. So if one twin wanted to be vegan, they were gonna give him a meat eater. They're gonna give me an oat diet. As the other ones wanted to be oat, they're gonna give him vegan. So they went opposite of whatever that they wanted. I feel like if you would have give them what they wanted from day one, um, you could have a better chances for them to stay committed to that diet. What do I mean with that is, like, for example, so let's say me and my twin, or my twin and I'm the one that chose vegan, and he's the one that chose Otney. So I'm already showing some interest of being vegan, or at least trying it. So why give me the opposite when I'm interested in doing that? So by doing that, I think from my perspective, I will be more in tune to stay committed to the challenge, because that's what I wanted versus oh man, I didn't want to do this, so I don't know. So the document never expressed is they during the challenge they ate meat for the ones that were the ones that were trying vegan, or vice versa, the ones that were eating meat try vegan food. They never they don't talk about that too much, but it would have been nice to see that whole food progress. As they, I know we no talk about not being perfect, but if they ever slip, or they even you know had an opportunity where there wasn't they couldn't stay committed. Like, for example, one of the twins, one of the girls, they was in a situation, they when the one that was vegan, their sister was eating meat in front of her, like, oh yeah, you can do that, trying to like put meat on her face like that, and then stuff like that. Like, she was trying to really bully her sister really bad. And then we don't know if she had a fall off, or she was, let me try to eat it. The cameras are not around, so we don't have that idea, or that information. So it would have been nice if they would have actually kept it that way, because there were some of the twins kind of show interest of actually trying vegan, but they gave them the opposite of what they wanted. So yeah, I think it would have been a very really nice thing if they would have kept it that way, at least to give them the opportunity for them to eat what they wanted. And in the case that they didn't want to, let's say both wanted to eat meat, then now you can sort it out. All right, well, just gonna pick random. Okay, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do the other one. Something like that. Also, I think at the end, it would have been nice to know um, how many of them actually stay vegan, right? Since the vegan documentary, how many of them actually retain the lifestyle, retain or maintain it, or they still decided to say, I'm gonna do a full change in my diet and I want to do vegan for for the rest of my life. So it would be nice to know. I think they kind of mentioned that some of them were like thinking about it. Some of them like I'm gonna change my, and they did mention a few of them, but we don't know if all of them were actually um fully vegan at this point on. So maybe that can come in a second part. Maybe it can come in a I don't know, in a new series or in a couple new episodes. So it will be nice to know about that. So basically, that's some of the things that I feel like they can, some of the feedback that I think that they can improve. But at the end, I actually give the documentary an 8 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10, which is a high rating grade. I think is one of those documentaries that is good to watch with your friends, family members, especially the ones that are not vegan. So if you're a vegan, it's a really nice documentary to watch. It will take a couple episodes because it's a docu series, so you might have to break it down. So it's not one sit down and watch it all. But at the same time, when you watch the first episode, you want to continue. You're gonna keep watching the second one, and the second one to want to see what happened, what's the outcome. So it kind of keep you on your toes. So it's a really interesting documentary there. They touch on the exercise part. There's a lot of scientific research there. There's a lot of scientific parts that back up the documentary as well. So I think there's good content there. Shout out to Nimai and Bianca for representing the community there as well. They're on the video on the docu series there. They both doing their part as trainers, so that's good. And also all the team that was there. Shout out to Miyoko because she kind of explained how her business was going, so that's a good thing too. I'm giving shout out to some of the main characters in the docu series. So for me, it was a 8 out of 10. Like I said, I think it's one of those that you want to watch. You like the Game Changer, you're gonna like this one as well because he has the same kind of flow, kind of same vibe, pretty much, to put in a tense term. And it's a pretty good documentary, right? Especially because of all the things that I mentioned. Again, some of the things that I learned, I get a renewed appreciation for the profound connection between our food choices and overall health. The film reinforced the notion that a well-balanced plant-based diet can have a transformation impact on our life. Moreover, it speaks important conversation about the need for evidence-based nutrition and education and the potential of sustainable, cruelty-free eating practices. The documentary also raised questions about the scientific rigor and potential bias in its presentation, highlighting the importance of critically evaluating such content. It serves as a compelling reminder of the power of media in shaping our perception of food and health, urging viewers to approach documentary content with a discerning mindset. So, like I said, you want to make sure that when you watch it with open eyes. Like I said, this is a really unbiased and review, even though I like the fact that the documentary um, was able to point out both lifestyles. And he mentioned also some of the benefits from each one. I still feel like I still gonna go for a plant-based diet overall because of so many of the health benefits. And I highly suggest you to explore the documentary and to explore the lifestyle as well. And then let us know what you think. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. If you've seen it, what's your 2 cents? I would like to get your opinions. I would like to know what you guys like or dislike about the documentary. If it's worth watching, worth reviewing. It's even worth sharing with other people. But it will definitely will be one of those things that I'm interested in know what you guys think about this whole documentary. And yeah, guys, I think this is it. I'm happy to be able to share this with you guys. And before I go, I want to remind you guys that Chill Coco is our sponsor for this episode. Chill Coco is my next project, and for the ones in the Houston area, we'll build a vegan, premium, artisan, homemade, dairy-free ice cream trailer or truck in the Houston area will be available for folks. We're gonna have so many amazing flavors you guys are gonna even imagine. Not only from the typical Oreo pistachios to strawberry, but we're gonna have malted, right? We're gonna have caramel. We're gonna have brownies, and then we're gonna have chocolate velvet. Man, we're gonna have sneakers, but it's gonna be the vegan version. I mean, we're gonna have so many amazing flavors for you guys that I cannot wait to you guys to stop by and get some of this delicious creamery ice cream. All coconut based, and in some cases we're gonna have some that are gonna be oat based, but fully 100% plant based, vegan. So for you guys can have a wonderful time. So that's it. I wanted to share this with you guys. I'm excited to see you guys. I love you guys and see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Gracias por escuchar Latino y Vegano, un show donde se habla todo lo relacionado sobre el veganismo entre la comunidad latina. No olviden suscribirse a este podcast, seguirnos en Instagram, Facebook, YouTube y a visitarnos en latinoyvegano.com.